Hello everybody. If you're there yet, I'm just going to put the link in the group so everyone can join us. There it is. Awesome. I'm a little bit early because I got it all done, which is fine. I'm just going to post it in the group so that you guys will all show up. Done. Alrighty then. So, do you have... That's better. Right. I'll just wait for a few of you to pop on. Oh, there's like 20. That went from 0 to 20 real fast. Hello, Anitha. Hello. So for those that are already here, I printed the pattern, cut it out, cut all the fabric, and interfaced it all in like an hour once I decided what we were doing. Nothing is impossible if you try. Hi, Amy. If you hear weird ticking, it's the heat press because I still need to do more heat press stuff. Hi, Paula. Hi, Delyn and Rhonda. I don't know what BCCA stands for, but I'm assuming that's somewhere in America. Hi, Carol. All right. Hi, Mary. Hello, Mother. Right. I done a little bit of a mission this morning. My nan needs a laptop case to look after her laptop. And I decided I wanted one with handles. I was tossing up between this one and the one by Trixis Design. But I decided that this is probably more nan. So this is what we're doing. Ah, British Columbia to Canada. Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that. See, you guys all know so much more about geography than me. So another thing I'm doing contrasting thread today because it's fun. So I chose white and I don't have any webbing. I've only got binding. So my way to counteract that problem is I've cut the binding twice as long and then I'm going to sew it in half together and that will make it thicker and a better handle. Hello, Deborah. It's freezing here. It's a top of 14 degrees Celsius today with 49% chance rain, which is super annoying because I planned on going horse riding today, but not in the freezing cold and the wet. So the first thing I'm going to do is just sew this binding together to make it more webbing-y and less binding-y. And the difference, if you don't know, between webbing and binding's thinner. It's still all polyester. I'm just going to clean the screen. I have a sneaking that's better. So binding is thinner and usually what I put around, edges. I can move the camera closer if you'd like. And tilt. There you go. Now you can see what's going on. So after this, I'm probably still going to go out and see my horse and give him some licorice and some loving. Not in a weird way. But he's like a dog. He likes pats. Oh, speaking of dog, my dog got up and moved. He was right at my feet before I started this. So you don't have to do this. I could have just made vinyl straps as well. Whatever's going. I just thought this would look cool. Now you won't see the end, but I'm still just going to sew it because it's easier. And then we're going to come up the other way. So I'm here to answer any questions today. I'm still going to backstitch just to lock it in. I also need to singe it a little bit. The polyester binding has a tendency to fray, so it's always good to melt it as well. So now I've got a handle, and it's thicker, which will be better. Hello, everybody. So the two handles are a different size. I've also decided not to put the slip pocket on the outside just because I don't think Nan will use it. She literally just wants one section for the laptop and one section for the cords. So I am going with her wishes. And this is probably a little bit more fiddly than I would have wanted, but it's fine, honestly. So I've got a new pattern coming out soon, which is that cool case that I showed you. It's called Hussy. I've started on the next pattern, which is called Trollop. And that is going to be a mini messenger bag / wallet all in one, which will be fun. And then after that, I'm going to do the barrel bag because I want to make myself one out of leather. And I have been inspired, but I'm trying not to skip to that without finishing the other one first, which, by the way, is very hard to do because I need a new, bigger handbag. Kaylee by KM Designs is the current one I have, and it just, turns out I carry a lot of stuff in my bag that I wasn't aware I was doing, so I need a bigger one. Right, so now I have 2 straps, so they can go aside. And I'm going to take my gusset piece, which I have also done in fabric. I did contemplate doing it in vinyl, but clearly decided not to. And then I'm going to take my bigger zip. I have not used the leather yet because I am saving it for when I make myself a new bag. Hubby, however, did hack off a piece in all his glory. So I'm going to put these together, smaller stitch length, and we're going to stitch and back stitch. So these are right sides together. And then I'm going to hold them out like this to make sure there's no twists. And then do the other side as a chain stitch because I love chain stitching. I have already made this bag. So for those of you that don't like lives, or you've tuned in but you don't really pay attention to what's going on, I do have a non-live version of this bag. I do try to always do double ups, I guess. Then I'm just going to top stitch that seam allowance back like that. Cut the other side. I also think I just ran out of bobbin thread. I did. Hello everybody that's just tuned in. We're doing the Zip and Go by Moments by Liz. Because my Nan needs a laptop case. And she needs a wallet, but I'm going to make her wench. You guys have already seen plenty of wench videos, so I thought I'd do this one just a bit different. Can't have you getting sick of seeing the same stuff all the time. Right. Needle up. Snip, snip, and snip. So now I've got my outer bit. I've also decided to put 2 zipper pulls on. I thought that would be fun. And so now I'm going to take the other zip and put the other zipper pulls on because I like to eliminate smaller pieces. If you have never watched a live before, that is my thing. So this way is right side up. So I'm going to put this one here. Now, it probably doesn't matter, but I can tell which way that flower sits. So I'm going to make sure it's the right way. And then I want to see the red, so I'm going to put the red against the zip and go that way. do the slip pocket in the same fabric as the outer. And it's only the main body that's got the solid red in it. So it looks prettier. I really like this red fabric. I'm not really into florals. It's not my thing. But I do like this one. It's one of the few I do actually like. And I've been hoarding it in my stash for ages. So, ta-da! Now we need to start actually doing the outer bits because all the smaller bits are done. So this is my outer. You just got to chop it in half. And then you should also have similar shape but just smaller for your pockets. So I need, for the bottom, we need it to go the same way, which is this one. So I'm going to find the center because I always find the center of everything. It's just easier. I don't ever snip the zipper tape though. For those that don't know that, it's not my thing. Because you'll find it frays. If you are going to snip it, instantly singe it with a lighter. Otherwise, it just frays and carries on, and there's a good chance, especially around a curve. I know a lot of people cut the zip when they're going around curves. That's fine to do if that's your thing, but make sure you singe it. Otherwise, it starts to fray and pull out. So when you turn your bag through, the zipper shows through and comes out. And it's super frustrating for everybody. So I want this to go this way. So I'm going to put the zipper in the center, like that. And then I need to also find the center of this one. Morning, Amanda. Jump. You all went really quiet. Right, so there's the center. So it's 9 a.m. here. I started cutting out this bag at 8 a.m. I was a little bit late. But I got the pattern printed, cut, and then everything cut, prepped, interfaced, and ready in an hour. So it just goes to show, if I really try, I can get quite a lot done in a day. Oh, I think I hear rain. There goes my plans of the horses. Bugger. I really wanted to go see him. But yeah, so it's 9:05 right now. Where I am. Right, I'm near the zipper pull, so I'm going to move it. That's lucky it's sunny in Melbourne. It's definitely not sunny here. Feels like an inside day. I was actually going to have a day off work because I've been working like crazy lately. But I feel weirdly motivated. So here we are doing a live. And I know I saw a lot of you have missed my videos. So I am back. (9 a.m. on a Wednesday. It is 9 a.m. on a Wednesday. I always do my lives on a Wednesday. You very rarely see them on a different day. And if I'm doing a live on a different day, it's in my group. So this is, by the way, this is the beige with gold zipper tape that they sent me. I did actually order white, but it's come as like an off-white, but it turns out it works out quite well with this. You can never have too many zipper colors, right? That's okay, Amanda. I really enjoyed doing the workshop. I definitely will be doing more. Oh no. Does anybody see what I did there? I used the wrong side. I did think that that was going to be a thing. Bugger. Right, looks like I'm unpulling. Happy birthday, Kalisha. Why did I have to top stitch that before I checked it? Bugger, bugger, bugger. Oh, it's hot here. happens when I don't pay attention. I grabbed the wrong side because I forgot I had to flip back. Also, I've been looking more into subscription boxes for those that are potentially interested in those. I actually found green boxes already. They're in my saved list to do. I'm a bit excited. And I will be coming up for some sort of subscription thing for people overseas that don't want to pay the postage for the subscription box. I haven't quite got there yet, but they're definitely on my brain. Because I feel like a subscription box would be equally, if not more fun than a Zoom workshop. I know a lot of people keep asking me about Zoom workshops. I don't necessarily see the difference between that and what I do here for free. And so I don't want to charge you for something I'm already doing for free. That just doesn't feel right. Why did I have to use the small stitch length? So it should just be pulling out, if you can see that. If you clip every third or fourth thread, you don't have to actually unpick. It's like a cheats way. That makes me feel better because I mess up all the time. I totally mess up all the time. I require quite a lot of concentration to be able to do my other videos relatively quickly and correct. I knew this was going to get me, and I knew I should have pulled up the pattern, but, you know, whatever. 'Tis what it is. Voila! That was oddly satisfying to do that. That's only one though. So that's the top stitching out. Now I still have to do the other bit. So the subscription's gonna be, I'm getting custom fabric done and stuff and things. So some months there'll be like an embroidered panel. I'm just trying to decide on, do I give you a preview of what it is, or would you prefer it to be a mystery? So I would tell you if it's like a clutch or a duffel or a handbag or whatever, but would you prefer to see the photo to be able to sign up to it, or would you like to keep it a mystery? That's my big question, because I don't know. And for those times when I feel like doing like really crazy out there stuff, like that cool Care Bear that was choking the My Little Pony, I would give options. So you could have like a floral option, or I don't know what I'd call it, probably badass option, or the Tory option, and it'd be like, you know, a little bit more out there. But you would, if I was doing that kind of a thing, I would still give you the option to have something more nice, like a nice floral like this. Technically, that gives me twice as much work, but that's okay. And the subscription boxes would have a limit. So I would pre-buy everything that I needed, and then I would make them up, and there would only be X amount available. And then that would be it. And obviously, if they're super popular and everybody complains they missed out, I would increase the numbers, but I'd start off with like 30 or 20. And then if they didn't go well, I'd decrease the number. And if everybody missed out and wanted some, then I would increase it. Because otherwise I'm going to have like piles and piles of stuff everywhere. I stopped paying attention where I was up to, so I just did that so I could see. We cool. I thought I already did this bit. Apparently not. rogue's not all bad. There is definitely more than one way to build a bag. When I first did the Zenaida backpack by Aura Rosa, I didn't read the instructions at all. I just cut the pieces and went, oh, I can do that. And I looked at the picture. And it turns out that that bag technically was meant to be done with binding, according to the pattern. But I didn't do binding. Not because binding's scary or anything, just I didn't do it. Also, one of the bags coming up is going to have a drop-in lining. You can hate me all you want, but it's a good skill to have. And the way I want to design the bag, it needs to happen. Because I have plans. Alright, we're nearly there. So, while that's kind of semi-attached, I'll just grab that one, this one. Yeah, I don't use a seam ripper, ever. My stiletto, they usually come with one stiletto end and one seam ripper end. I swapped it with my mate because she doesn't use stilettos. So I've got 2 stilettos and she's got 2 seam rippers because I do not like them. So the option for my barrel bag that's in my head, and it's going to be fabulous and I have plans. But the way I want to do it, I want to have handles riveted to it as opposed to the straps up the side because it's going to wreck the look of the bag. So to do the rivet handles, I need to build the whole bag, then put the handles on, then do the drop-in lining. And in my head, this is just, it's going to work. I hope. So that's where I'm at with that. Well, so when I do the subscription boxes, it will come with literally everything. So if I'm doing embroidery, you will literally get the pre-embroidered panel in the bag, cut out, because that's the panel and I want to make sure it's centered. And then after that, it would be... See, now I'm checking. I know I've grabbed the other one, but I just want to check now. And then, so anytime I feel like using a tassel, you would get a tassel cap with it, and rivets, and bag feet, and just everything. So it won't just come with the pattern and the fabric. You will get the interfacing, all the hardware, everything. So they're going to vary in price depending on what pattern I do each month. So they won't just be, you know, a set price. Because that's not fair when you don't get as much stuff. And it will be, you will also get, so for people overseas that don't want the subscription physical box, you would get the embroidery design, potentially, if I got it designed, and the pattern before everybody else. So the subscription boxes will be the patterns that I have not released yet. So you'll get a new pattern with it as well. And that will be to download. They won't be in the box because my boxes won't fit the paper, I don't think. Along with everything else. I'm sure this has to be right because it has no other option. There we go. I have been thinking about that. I do see, I'm not part of the Gertie sewing group thing, but I do see that all her monthly, whatever it is, they all get like a patch to collect. I have been thinking about that. And each patch could be, I don't know, really. I don't know what I'd put on that many patches. My brain's not that clever, apparently. Because I did think about it. I'm like, I could just put all my quotes on a patch. Or I could put, you know, adult humor on a patch. Alright. That's better. That's what we needed. Yes, digital subscriber boxes. But to do the patches and stuff, I would definitely need to save up and get the embroidery designing software, which I have been contemplating. As I took off my other middle section. There we go. So the pattern would eventually, so for people that aren't interested in any of this, don't stress. The patterns will still be released. It'll just be a month or two after everybody else gets it. Yay, Tori, I'm finally going to catch you live. Hi, Tracy. So I make all the keychains and all the badges and all the magnets and everything. I make the whole freaking lot because, I don't know, I feel like it. The patches I currently have, I also make. I've got Stitch Ninja with different skin tones, and I've got Achievement in Adulting because I thought that was really funny at the time. The patches wouldn't be overly hard to do. I just need to come up with cool stuff to write on it. Okay, next one. So by logic, this one has to work. Oh, see? That was close. That was very close, people. I need to take off this bit because I nearly forgot the handles. Too busy talking. Look at me go. Be careful, Tori. I see you using snips to mark the center. I am. I'm also using this ruler to mark where the handles go. We nearly forgot to put in the handles, which is an important part of today. That'd be cool. Resin dishes are awesome. I love resin work. And if you could find someone to make you molds, there's a lot of really cool stuff you could do. You could do... See, if I was into resin and I had time in life, I would do this bowl, which is the Lord of the Rings, and I'd do it clear with flecks of gold glitter through it. That would be super cool. Because I love this for my hardware bowl. I use it even when I'm not on camera. This is just where everything lives because it's easy to move around. But you'd have to find someone that can make the mold for the Lord of the Rings bowl. And I mean, that shouldn't necessarily be hard. If you could find someone that could digitally design, like 3D print it, you could then reverse mold it, because that's a thing with the silicone stuff. But again, I don't have time for that. So to get the handle to go around, I always smooth it out and bring it round. That's just my habit. Works out all right. Liquid crystal for mood rings. Ooh, that's cool. You make your own molds. Well, there you go, Dawn. Do one of these with Lord of the Rings, clear it with gold fleck, and I will buy one. And I know for a fact that a lot of people in my group are very disappointed that I don't have a 3D printing person anymore, because I know a lot of people were waiting for the Lord of the Rings bowl. You're welcome to advertise them in my group if you get them going, and I would also like to purchase one, because I think that would be awesome. Obviously, I came up with the idea. So this dish was 3D printed back when I had a 3D printing guy. Okay, now I've got a handle. This makes more sense now. Now I'll add it to the bag. See, I nearly had to unpick for a second time. So not cool. Right. There we go. I don't have the time and space to even think about starting to do resin stuff. I'd need another whole house to fit. I need a house just to have different rooms for different hobbies. Because we all know that I wouldn't just buy a little bit. I'd go and buy like 20 molds and make them all and yeah, no. Okay, so this one I'm going to just fold up the top panel and top stitch, but not the pocket. Boom. Front piece nearly done. We're just going to sew the pocket half shut. Oh, I saw a sublimation printer on Buy Swap and Sell the other day. Even I was tempted. But that just feels very dangerous. So for anyone that doesn't know what a sublimation printer, when you go and buy like hoodies and they have that print on the outside, that's done with a sublimation. So basically it's like printing, but on fabric. I know someone that's got a sublimation printer actually. Alright. Pocket is done. There was one on, if you're in Melbourne, there was one on Marketplace for $800 the other day. All right, so I'm just going to be slightly off camera. I've got to iron the foam onto the back of here so that this side's foamed as well. Each color refill is like $80 a piece. Yes, that does sound about right because it prints and it's like, it's fabric ink almost. All right, I will just be off camera for 2 seconds, well, 10 seconds. Maybe 20, while I iron this foam onto the back. But I can still see the conversation going. For anyone, I am here. I'm just slightly off camera. Because my heat press is not super large, I have to iron it in 2 separate pieces. So I'm going to do one half and then flip it around and then do the other half. I mean, sublimation printer would potentially be super duper awesome for subscription boxes. But I need to stop talking myself into more and more things. I have no room. Right. There we go. So that side now has a zipper pocket and foam on the back. Hello from Rayleigh in USA. Love your videos. Well, thank you. All right. So on the other outside piece, we now also need to put our handle. I'm going to find the center of everything because I know it's going to help me in about 2 minutes. Right. No, there we go. I really need to stop doing that with my snips. Morning, Karen. Question. For patterns that say based on the foam, do you iron it on? I always iron my foam on, and I know a lot of people that refuse to iron their foam on because they think that it creates all these extra wrinkles and stuff. If I do find that I get wrinkles, what I actually do is iron the bag at the end with my mini iron, and that will get rid of all of that problem for me. Right. So I've just drawn on where the handles are going to go, if anyone's wondering. I always iron my foam because I like less pieces. Also, these days, a lot of people put their foam within the seam allowance. So if you were to sew that, you're going to see the stitches on the outside once you finish the bag. So you can do it either way. I'm just giving you my thoughts. Did I do it on the inside or the outside? I think I did it on the outside. Now, normally you would have a slip pocket here, but again, I don't think my nan's going to use it, so I'm not going to do it. You love my accent. That's cool. To be honest, I don't really get time to watch other people. There's always something going on here. I know they exist. I know a lot of people are really cool. They do a lot of really cool stuff. I just do not have time to ever get to watch them. Alright. Hi, did you miss sluts? Only the outside pocket because I stuffed it up and we had to unpick 2 layers of stitching. Any news on the move? So I don't find out when I move until August, mid to late August, but their latest update on our life is they have changed their mind and they may not be sending us to Queensland anymore. They may be keeping me here for another year. So that's the latest update, but it's also not confirmed because they're not good at actually confirming things. They just like to make me guess. So officially, I still don't know where I'm going to be. And that's the reason I've started looking into the subscription boxes, because if they are happening, if I'm not moving, they will be happening quicker than if I am moving. Handles! Huzzah! I did start using car headliner foam for a while there before I started doing videos because I was like, yeah, cheaper, thinner, but it's not as firm. So your bag won't have as much stand-up stability by using that, just so you know. I have played all these games. I used to get foam from Clark Rubber that didn't have the iron-on stuff on it. And they had the headliner foam and a whole bunch of other foam since they are Clark Rubber. And I personally didn't love it. I found that the bags would get floppy, whereas this stuff stays a lot firmer. But it is cheaper, so if you are just learning to sew, or you don't care if your bag's like a floppier bag, headliner foam is definitely an alternative. And a pretty good one. I understand that bag making gets pricey. Alright. So I'm going to find halfway on the zip. Oh, it is so totally raining outside. So the middle. I'm also going to find the middle of the bottom because middles help. Did I already do that? Yes, I already did that. Subconsciously. See, I wasn't even consciously aware that I just found the center of the bottom. I'm still going to do at least one more sewing workshop before I leave. I'm probably going to do the barrel bag because of the whole, and I will pre-cut it all for everybody. And they will be out of all vinyl on the outside. And I don't know what we'll do on the inside yet. But I will be doing at least one more workshop. And I think the barrel bag would be fun because it's going to teach a whole bunch of different skills to what I normally do on video. And to do a drop-in lining, you'll have like a one-on-one interaction so I can fully describe it to you. Do I mind that I have to move? Not really. I've always moved around a lot. Very rarely have I ever rented somewhere for more than a year. Just because I'm like, ooh, let's try something new. Which I know sounds like really wasteful and money and all the rest of it. But it is fun. So I don't mind. And the movers come in and pack everything up except our clothing. So the only thing they don't pack up is like our bedroom. Everything else, they will pack up for us. So I don't have to pack all the plates and the cups and everything. They send in like a moving team of 2 or 3 people and they spend the day packing my house for me. I don't get snow right where I live, but there is snow a couple of hours away. My dad lives in Ballarat and it randomly snows there. Not for like a month or anything, but a couple of days maybe. Right, so I have now pinned the top and the bottom because this is the easiest way to do this. And then you just want to take this and maneuver it into all the corners. When I own a house, I'll never be moving. So once Luke and I decide where we want to live and the house we want to live in, once we buy it, that is it. All workshops will have like their own space. I will start accumulating machines like this and you won't even have to bring your machine. But I'm not doing that until I've bought a house. So that is like end goals. End goals for life is literally having a sewing workshop, like granny flat, with all the machines already there. So you just show up and you get to play on an industrial machine or semi-industrial or however I decide to do it. Well, Jesse's only moved once so far and he was not terribly old. So he didn't care. I don't know, he might care this time. He might not. He might just be excited we're going somewhere. I haven't sat down and explained to him that we're moving, just in case we're not. Can I buy an Adelaide so you can attend a workshop? Doesn't really work like that. I want to live somewhere warm because of my asthma and the fact that living here is really, really cold. Bye, Mother. There is a lot of fog where I live. It is also very windy a lot where I live. Oh, I didn't turn the heat press off. I can hear it ticking. Corners are 3D objects. Can you see that I'm holding it like that? Makes it easier to clip if you keep that in mind. So that is now completely clipped on. So we're going to stitch that down. I'm going to do a basting stitch. So it's going to be a little bit higher at the zip part, but then the bottom part, I'm going to do the full actual seam allowance so that I don't have to hide the stitches from the top. If Mum lived in the granny flat, then where would I have the sewing workshop? Hubby gets the shed. He gets a nice big shed. And nowhere near my workshop, so I don't have to listen to him banging. Or we just might buy like a super big house or a 2-story house, and then the bottom level is for all my sewing. Don't know. Depends on where we buy and what it looks like. I'm quite okay if it's in the house, as long as there's like a designated space where I don't have to pack up the machines all the time. This is a very skinny gusset, and you need the gusset to be able to put the zipper in. So the gusset is actually the same width as the zipper. And it's just the way the pattern's written. I have made one of these before. Turns out lovely. And the reason for this size gusset is it does really fit like a laptop in, because laptops aren't terribly thick either. They're like 2 centimeters, 20 mil, less than an inch. And this will work out to be pretty much the same thing. So that's that side. Now we get to do the other side. So it is only little, but it is also only designed to fit a laptop. It's not a laptop bag, it's literally a laptop case. You're welcome to have that opinion. I'm just explaining why I think they did it in the pattern. You could have also just sewn it a little bit wider and a little bit taller than your laptop, and then instead of having the gusset sewn it together, and you could also square out or corner out, box out, whatever you call it, the ends. This is just an alternative to that. And it's a very clever way of putting a zip in, and it's not something that a lot of other pattern designers do. So that's why I actually thought I'd do this. Now, I've got all my clips facing the wrong way. Did you see that? I saw that. Easy to pull them off if they're all facing up where I need them to. So now I'm going to actually just run my finger along to make sure that I don't twist this before I attach it. Like that. I could do a week's worth of videos and hack one pattern over and over and over to do different things, do it different ways. So that's kind of what I did with the hussy case that I designed. It's actually, it's no like A to Z. This is how to do this section and this section, and you just pick out the bits that you want and don't want. So for my hussy case video, which I should probably get onto, I'm going to do it as a makeup, like a traveling makeup case. So it's going to have sections for the brushes and some zipper pockets, and I'm going to do binding because you all seem to be scared of binding. But there is a way to do it without binding for those that aren't quite ready to try and take that on. But I will tell you it takes much longer to sew without binding. But you are still welcome to do it. It is in the pattern. I've written it all up. So the case would also make like a really cool first aid case if you like to be organized and chuck it in your car. You could just do the small size, or the big one, chuck it in your boot. When I say big, it's still only like this big. It does fit the Nintendo Switch if you've got a child or adult in your life that has one. The small one fits the Nintendo 3DS XL. I tried to give lots of options with this pattern, and it's still only $8. So I used to be terrible. I used to be like horrified to try and write my own pattern when I first started sewing bags. I'm like, hell no, I will find one that is close enough and that will do. And then I started experimenting with changing pockets or adding pockets or whatever. And then that got me into, I want to make my own. So there we go. So it does look pretty flat, but if I hold this up, see how, well, it won't now because I've got the clips in it. But it will have enough to slide the laptop in. I made this bag out of vinyl last week. The corners took me a while to get right. Lots of clips. I don't actually snip the corner. It's not something I do. If you hold it as the 3D object and stick enough Wonder Clips on it, you actually don't need to clip the fabric. Sometimes I will come back and use my zigzag scissors at the end, but I never clip it before I've sewn it, because if you make the clip too big and you're not paying attention, you won't sew over it and then you'll have a hole on the outside. And that's like a whole annoying thing to fix. So I like to prevent that problem and just not do it. That's me personally. It's not a wrong thing if you want to clip, but you'll never really see me do it. You'll definitely never see me clip a zipper. To find the center, I will mark it with either texter, friction pen, or a clip, like a Wonder Clip. Snipping's never really been my thing. And the reason, actually that's a lie, I have done it a couple of times, and the reason I stopped is for the reasons I just mentioned. So you'll notice I haven't done any lining yet. It's very tricky. It's very clever the way she's designed this. So then we get to the zipper, and I'm going to do the full seam allowance, pulling this back. Or a pin. Pins work really well as well. I don't use a lot of pins during bags, but I do only use pins during clothing. In my opinion, wonder clips are designed for bulkier stuff, and pins are designed for thinner stuff like clothing. Although sometimes on satin I will use wonder clips just because I don't want to stab a hole in the satin. Am I out of bobbin? Oh my god, am I out of bobbin? Oh no, I am. Well, that sucked. Bugger. And yes, Aussies really do say bugger, just FYI. That's not me, like, making a point that I'm an Aussie. It's actually what we say. Oh, well. I can think of worse problems. It could have eaten the whole thing. I could have done the whole thing without noticing that you guys noticed for me. So my first bobbin wasn't terribly full. That's why we're on another one already. Oh, it's... My heater has issues. It's hot, then it's cold. Then it's hot, then it's cold. Tries to lie to me and tell me it's 21 degrees in here. And then it's so cold, I need a jumper and 2 pairs of socks. I don't have to unpeak. You are very correct. That is an exciting start. I will have to check the price of shipping because it will only be exactly what you need that's in the box. It shouldn't weigh too much. I've also found boxes that are just about the size of an A4 piece of paper, so I would just fold everything in there. Because bigger boxes cost more to post than smaller ones, apparently. If you get to a certain point, that is. Pump some oil through the machine. I will work it out for the subscription boxes. Little things like my templates don't change. So the express postage in Australia is the same as the international post. I think it's like $1 difference. Hi, Vivian. Tori, I don't know if you remember, last time I asked you about tracing out a pattern pieces so you don't have to cut into the pattern. I finished the rompers. Oh, that's awesome. I always trace around them, clothing ones that is, because as you grow, or if you've got a mate that's a different size so you want to make them something, you don't have to keep buying the pattern. See, now I'm cold again. All right, there's a bobbin. I'm going to be naughty. Just don't watch. I'm going to attempt to do this without clips. Just if you're wondering why I think I'm being naughty. And for the most part, I reckon it will work. Just FYI. I do crazy stuff like this all the time, if we're totally honest. Living vicariously through me. Timing went out on my main machine. Oh no. After this, since it's raining and I'm clearly not going horse riding in the rain, I actually think I might try and finish all the pattern pieces for the next pattern. See, who needs clips? I just did that without it. Yes, I'm crazy. No, I don't care. Right. So, you can see, it's only a little gusset, but it's going to be big enough to just slot the laptop in. When something breaks, you just go play with something else. Alright, jumper back on because it's cold again. So this fabric would be discontinued by now. It is a quilting cotton from Spotlight that I got about 4 years ago. And like I said, I've been hoarding it because I think it's really pretty. But I'm on a mission to get through all of my fabric at the moment. So this is not waterproof canvas. This is actually just some red I had in the cupboard to get rid of it. I haven't quite got rid of it, but I will. And I also thought, because I've only got a little bit left over, I was actually thinking of doing a vixen and strumpet set out of the remaining fabric, and then that will get rid of that piece. Because I do not have a lot of stock on my website. The mermaid bag that I made yesterday, it has already sold. It was sold before I even put it on the website to sell, which is awesome. But it also leaves my website with not a lot of stuff going on. You should make a shirt that says don't get snippy. I changed the colors, so this is not the colors that they were. But you don't have to follow what the pattern has. You can do whatever you want. Don't let an embroidery design tell you what to do. I don't. All right, so now we're clipping the lining to the zipper. And only the zipper, not the whole way around. Sounds crazy, I know. This is the way the pattern is written. And again, corner gets more clips. So this might seem crazy, but this is just how it is. So the inside doesn't have a gusset, just FYI. The outside has a gusset. The inside just has fabric. Just to really blow your mind. Because if there was a gusset for the inside, what I would have done is done binding everywhere. Because it's quick. Yes. I'm doing it this way because that's what the pattern says. But also because we're only sewing to like 2 centimeters past the zipper. So 2 centimeters is 3/4 of an inch, 20 mil, past the zip. I think I've got everybody a little bit addicted to embroidery machines lately because I do a lot of embroidery. But that's why I've got it. So the bags are not going to stop with embroidery. I'm actually going to do, what was it called? I don't remember what it was called. It was by Teresa Lucio, and it's like a men's, well, it's not necessarily men's, but it's got like the 2 zippers and then the flap at the end, and you open it up, and I'm going to turn that into like a man's toiletry bag and put some embroidery on it. I got some from Urban Threads. One says, with great beard comes great responsibility. And the other one says mustache wax, and is like an old dapper looking thing. So I'm going to get my fabric out and make some of them and do embroidery. And that's in time for Father's Day. So that may or may not be this week. Father's Day in Australia is in September. Not that hubby's getting one because he's not allowed to grow a beard. He's in the army. And I don't like to remind him of that fact. It makes him a bit sad. He wants a crazy man beard. Alright. So, zipper finishes here. I've put an extra clip on each side. And so now we're going to stitch with the actual seam allowance along the zip. So before I was just kind of basting the outside on. Now I'm going to do the actual seam allowance that I was supposed to do. You can get, so my embroidery machine actually does embroidering and then you can switch it over to a sewing machine as well. So if you don't have the room for both, perhaps look into doing that. Get one that does, it is convertible. So mine is designed to be like a quilting machine as well as an embroidery machine. Now I obviously just keep mine set up as the embroidery machine, but you can convert it. And it doesn't take that long. It takes like less than 5 minutes to change it over. So if you're short of space, get a machine that does both for you. And then you won't need as much space. It just means that you can't do what I do and have the embroidery machine going in the background while you're sewing stuff. They are expensive. I'm not going to lie. Embroidery machines are not cheap. But so far, and I've been using my domestic one for business purposes, I've had mine for 6-7 years, and it's had 2 services, and I don't really have many problems with it. Right. So that's now done on that side. Now I have to do it to the other side. Oh, that's no good that it broke. I love my Brother stuff. I very rarely have issues with Brother. My scan and cut is obviously Brother. My embroidery machine is Brother. I can get them to like link up and do things together. Not that I do it, but I can if I want to. My printer is Brother. I'm just looking around, looking at all the things that I own that are Brother. My domestic sewing machine is Brother. My old Epic iron that I really, really miss was Singer. There's an ironing station. It was very cool. So, if you want embroidery for bags, I know I tell you guys this a lot, but I don't know who I'm ever talking to. So, if you want embroidery for bags, most of the embroidery I do is only done in a 5x7 hoop for handbags and stuff, because anything bigger falls into the seam allowances of the pieces. So, with that being said, you don't need to get a big giant 8x12 hoop that I've got. I like it because I could do, like this is done in the 8x8 hoop. But you can also split designs and then do them in 2 halves. You don't have to have the giant hoop to do bags. You just need a good 5x7. And you can do a lot of those in the hoop bags where you put the zip and everything into them all at once. 5x7 is the most common hoop size that most people use. So don't feel that you have to get a giant one like me, because I don't use it for bags, I use it for clothes. I just would recommend, if you're going to go and invest in one, try and look for one that's bigger than 4x4, because everybody that has a 4x4, as soon as they get it, they're like, I wish I had a bigger hoop. So take that advice on board and get the 5x7. And a lot of 5x7s will also do like 6x10, which is those book covers that I do. Those book covers are done in three hoopings, and they are in the 6x10 hoop, and it does an A5 book. All right, so that is now clipped. As you see, as you get closer to the edges, you require more clips. All mine are Janome except my long arm hand quilter. That's cool. I have nothing against other brands. I'm not hell bent on any one particular brand. It's just what comes into my life. Because most of my stuff's secondhand. I can't afford to go and buy everything brand new. So I just waited and waited until I got a secondhand one. There is nothing wrong with other brands. Do not think that I'm saying don't get something. That is not at all who I ban. This is Mitsubishi, and I only bought it because it was the cheapest machine, or it was the only machine around at the time. It wasn't brand new and $3,000. I am not brand based. I know how to deal with Brother. I've met the Brother rep. in Townsville. I met the rep, and she was lovely and used to upgrade my machine and stuff. And when I say that, like the scan and cut, she used to put in the updated latest programming or whatever. But it doesn't mean that I wouldn't go with a Cricut if it had have presented itself first. It's just I got that one first. Okay. Computerized aren't what they used to be. So 10, 15 years ago, buying a computerized sewing machine was potentially a lot more dangerous for your wallet than it is now. These days, they don't really glitch out, I find, personally. I worked at Spotlight, and so everyone would bring their machine back. 9 out of 10 times I could fix it on the spot, and as you know, I'm not like a computer-y. I can't actually service them, but I could fix the minor issues because most of them were operator error. I never once had a machine come back to Spotlight while I worked there because the computer part broke. That was never a problem. All right, we need scissors. So you need to snip just under where you stitched so that it will maneuver better. Do, 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 do. So I'm just doing a little snip. Then I'm going to line this up together. I'm actually going to leave a gap in the back, in the bottom here, but I'm just making sure it's all lined up before I pull those out, because this is the easiest way to line it up. You always go from the center outwards. My new one is a Janome 500E. See, I hear good things about 500Es. I had a 300E. My first ever embroidery machine was a 300E. Janome Memory Craft. I just ended up getting bigger and bigger hoops. That was all. There's nothing wrong with the other ones. And if you keep an eye on Facebook Marketplace, there is always people selling machines. Either the owner passed away, or they don't have time, or they've grown out of it, or they're no longer running a business that does it. So the ones online, so long as you go there and they plug it in and prove to you that it works, they're good to go. Or if you show up and they have a receipt to say that they just got it serviced for you, then it has to work. So, because you don't come back from a service with a broken one. I've only used it once, but wanted a bigger hoop. See? The hoop thing is a real condition, people. Hoop envy, I call it. Probably so do a bunch of other people. Alright. So now I'm just going to sew the linings together. Keeping in mind that I want to keep a gap in the bottom to turn it through. So I'm going to do that there. Basically, it's just not on a curve. 1, 2, take out 3 clips. And then continue on. Whoops. Did not backstitch. That was naughty. You also want to pull back the other bit. I am just going to peek in there and make sure that that's all good and all sealed. Can't feel any holes and I can't poke my finger through, so that's always a good sign. Hi, Bjorn. So I'm not going to push you in the direction of any particular brand because it's not who I am. I don't know if you've noticed, like, I love my Fisker scissors, but I also love my Class A scissors. And I also really, really love my $4 scissors from Bunnings. These things, if you have an embroidery machine, go to Bunnings and invest in the $4 pair of scissors. These are awesome for cutting like around appliques and stuff. They're $4. I highly recommend. They're like the Bunnings home brand. They are technically scissors to cut, like take cuttings off plants, which means they're really sharp, which means they're really good for what I'm trying to use them for. See, manufacturing error don't happen often, so you can always take them back if that happens, but right. Just making sure it all looks good, and then I'm going to change over the thread to red to seal up the bottom. I don't know what aisle specifically, but they will be near all like the secateurs, and they were $4 or $4.98. They may have gone up because I've had them for a few years and I torture those scissors and they're still going strong. So we're nearly done. Now I just got to change thread over. So see, it is just a very little gusset, but that's going to give you the room to put your laptop. See, the bent tip ones for fishing lures. Things have multiple uses. Don't let anyone tell you that what you're using can't be used in the way that you use it. If it works fine, then do it. I think Nan's really going to like that. It's red, it's floral. Nailed it. I've already got a red bobbin. That makes me happy. So this is, what's this? This is like a, I don't know, like a bendable plastic. This come out of one of those sewing boxes. It was like a removable bobbin case. And it happens to fit this machine's bobbins really well. I also got, there's a Janome that takes extra large bobbins. I don't know which one it is. And they fit the cylinder arm machine bobbins very well. I definitely have a problem when it comes to thread. I think there's only like 2 colors I haven't bought from Vibrant Threads these days. You want to make the Liberty bag with zipper instead of snaps. Okay, so that's easy enough. You just need to make like zipper casings and then stitch it to the inside. So most bags have zipper casings. If you go to Chris W. Designs, her casings are always one piece with no raw edges so that you can just stitch them to like here. So they would be the best option to be able to add in a zipper. If you want it on the curve, you can, but just keep in mind that zippers on curves don't necessarily love people lots. So I would personally just put it down a little bit and do it straight across. But you could definitely put a recessed zipper in the Liberty. Right. All of that to sew close like a 4-inch hole, but worth it. So I would make the interior slip pocket shorter so that you've got space to do it too. That's another thing. You need to have the space to be able to put the recessed zipper, so the slip pocket just needs to go down a little bit. I mean, you could also put a zipper in that top edge. I've already sold the bag, packed it up, and sent it to the post office. So unfortunately, I can't show you. What's a way-whack? I don't know what way-whack is, sorry. Is it like a shop I don't know about? Do I need to know about it? Am I about to be broke? All right. We could do a research zipper one. I just need to be inspired with a new embroidery. Can't go through my cupboard and see what fabrics inspire me, and I could do a second Liberty bag and then hack it. We all know I love to hack things. It's a sewing supply company in the US. There you go. That's why I don't know what it is. Well, that's good. I'm not very good at telling people where to get stuff in America because obviously I don't live there. Alright. Zip it up. Zip it up. Boom! That worked out really well. I think that's super cute. Even with the white stitching, I kind of like the accents. But I could definitely... Oh, see, my zipper's gone the wrong way. That's all right. She won't notice. There's no right or wrong way, if we're totally honest. You can do whatever you want. So even though that's an off-white zipper, see how it does still match with the fabric? My zipper looks crooked, right? And see how it looks wavy? That's because the fabric's not sitting flat. Therefore, I know. So this is another problem that I'm having. Nick, I am trying to get through all of my current fabric so that when I make something, I can tell you where to get it from. Because it's not fair. And I'm aware of that, and I'm trying to rectify it, but I have to get through all my other fabrics first. So the background is an off-white so it's not a stark white. It is still white, but it's not stark white, which is how I can get away with using the off-white zipper with the gold zipper teeth. But there you go. So that is the Zip and Go, not the Grab and Go. Grab and Go is KM Design. Zip and Go is Moments by Liz. I get there in the end, I promise. It's still fun seeing what fabrics you do have, even if we can't have hold of them. I still have a lot of florals. I think I need to make them up into floozies and vixens. I think they'd look cool. Yeah, that was fun. That's good. So that's one thing for Nan. Now I just need to make her a wench wallet, and her favorite color is red. So I'm going to make her a red vinyl wench wallet with gold because she wears a lot of gold jewelry, so it'll match her stuff. And so I'll probably do that after here and crank the music. And there is 13 notifications on my Messenger, or on my Facebook, not Messenger. So I really need to answer all of you guys because I imagine it's a lot of you guys trying to join my group and ask questions and stuff. And I'm always happy to help when I'm near my phone. Did you finish your project with the Psycho Care Bear? I did. It's a cushion. It's adorable. I did like a dark, so I embroidered it on that faux suede in the grey, and then I put a dark teal not textured, like blender fabric, which was a quilting fabric around the edge. And then I've done a free pattern on here where I do a cushion and show you how to do like the hidden zip. So that's what I made. So it sits on our couch and it is awesome. If you live in the US, you can get a lot of floral designs from Missouri Star. That's cool. I love the dresses and shirts you made. Thank you. I do plan on doing more. I do still have 2. I've got a hoodie and my green jacket that I've just been delaying because life's busy. And then I also am going to finally, hopefully, make this is going to be my picnic rug. So it's green. And I was going to do black, but hubby suggested grey. And I've already made all the half square triangles, and there is like a crap ton in here. They're all different shades of green. And so I'm going to make, it's like a noughts and crosses design that Michael Miller has or gave out or whatever. So it's a free pattern, but it does like noughts and crosses next to each other. So I really do want to make this. I might do it today. Never know. But I'm very excited about this. This is going to be about 2.5 meter squares, I think. I think I've mathed that out right. It's going to be huge because I like a big picnic rug. I don't like to be squished up around the food. I want to be able to like spread out a little bit. So the back of this is going to be a tarp, which you probably call a tarpaulin, which is like what you put over the rubbish in the back of your ute, because it's waterproof and huge. So I've already bought one of them, and then I'm just going to bind the edges. So that's what this is going to be. Tori, can't there be a full and not recessed zipper on the Liberty? Oh, you could. You could zip it around that curve. You could definitely do that, and you just bend all 4 of the corners, or one end you can just have it come off and put like a zipper tab on the end of it. You could definitely do that. There's, like I said, there's so many ways to do everything. So you could do the zip that goes around the curve. I personally would do a recessed zip. I don't love curved zips. I find that they annoy me, but that's just me. I do some quilting, but the actual quilting part I hate doing. So I have worked out how to do it on my embroidery machine. You can now go on Etsy and buy pre-designed like running stitch quilt patterns. And one particular person I bought some off, it was buy 2 get 1 free. So I now have a bunch of different ones. So it's got like swirls with stars in it, and it's just like one continuous line, and it joins up so that you can match them up side by side. So it is very cool. But it will take me forever. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna take me forever, especially on a 2.5 by 2.5 square. I don't have room for a long arm, and I don't do enough quilting. Although the lady in town at the Seymour shop did actually tell me that she would let me play on her long arm machine. So I could maybe go there and do it. But then I'd have to learn how to draw really well like this, and I don't think that's necessarily me either. But yeah, I do a little bit of all sewing. I'm not a quilter or a bag maker or a clothes maker. I like to dabble in all of it, just a little bit. That's why I got leather now. I'm going to dabble in leather bags. They're going to be glorious. As much as I would like a black bag, I've picked a piece of brown leather. Actually, I'll show you. This piece is mine. It's got like this cool, it's like, I don't know, it's just a really nice piece. So I'm going to do this. This will be on the cylinder arm machine. This will be the video that I do because I'm going to make the mock-up version of the bag out of vinyl because it's obviously cheaper. But yes, I love the texture. I love the color. It's like a nice brown. So this one is going to be my handbag. We are going to be doing edge coat. Oh, and I got a fun little toy for edge coat. I said the word edge coat and my phone was listening to me and tried to get me to buy it through like a link, and then I found a cheaper one. And it's this little tray that you put the ink in, and then it's got a roller so it just constantly refills itself. Here it is. So it's like this little ink well. And then this sits in it like that, right? And so then you put your edge coat in here and you can just keep rolling over and over and over and over and over. So I thought that was really cool. So I bought one. So I will be using this in the video when I design this bag. But this bag's not next. The next one is Trollop, which is a mister bag. And I just thought this was really cool because it's quicker than having to dip all the time. But I would most likely do this with multiples because you've got to pour it in and then I'd have to get it out again. But I still thought it was cool. I used to do a lot of cross stitch and like bead work before I owned a sewing machine, which was fun, I'm not gonna lie. I love the smell of leather. I know that's creepy. I'm good with it. Ugh. I am definitely an enabler, and this was like $12. So I'm not going to break your bank. 12 Australian dollars. It's like less than $10 in America. It doesn't break your bank. I'll see if I can find the link again from where I purchased it. But yeah, and it comes with 2 of these. The other one's there somewhere. And then these are my $5 Chinese knockoff edge coats. And they work fine, just for anybody that's wondering. I'm not big on brand names, like I said. So this one is very clearly not a brand name because I can't read it. But the top tells you what color they are. So this one is called Poisonous, which I assumed was supposed to be poisonous. Light tan, white. And then I think I've got black and pink and red. I don't know. I didn't buy all the colors because that would be silly, but I did buy a lot. Also, that little inkwell means that you could mix your own colors. So if you wanted a dark brown, you could mix that with a little bit of black, and then you get dark brown. Art class, thank you very much. All right, I'm off. You guys have a lovely day. I'm going to go and something. Either design the pattern or make Nan's wallet. I haven't decided yet. It could go either way. But I hope this was helpful and fun, and you learned something, and gussets are fun, and this one was just funky. Inkwell. It is an inkwell. It's called inkwell. But anyway, go grab one of those. If you're big on the edge coat thing, I will be doing a lot more leather. And I will see you all next time. Bye-bye. There we go.